And look at that. We're live. I know it's a little weird not to play the music and the countdown and all that, but it's kind of like sometimes you have to go 3 steps forward and 2 steps back to get where you want to go, right? How is everybody this Monday? How are you? How are you? Yeah, isn't this weather weird? Like my mom's over there saying it's 86 and rising. But yesterday, I can tell you at 11 a.m. yesterday, it was 90 some degrees because poor Rachel was out riding a horse in it. So we were keeping very good tabs on it. And then today it's all cooled down again. Cooled down relatively. I'm good with it though. The tortoises are loving it. Everybody's loving it. We got sunshine. Hello, hello, happy Monday. We are streaming both on YouTube and Facebook, which is the reason for no music right now because Facebook is kind of a funny little thing. Now, I am working very hard on my Facebook page and putting some content on there that has not been seen in public eyes for years. And maybe if you are newer to the channel, you may never have seen that content. So I would encourage you to come on over to Facebook and take a little look and help me build that up. Am I okay? That's a good question. I'm not going to lie. It has been a rough morning. It has been a rough morning. And that was kind of like why I decided with the topic of the day, because I know I come out, I do these videos and I, am this happy go lucky and look like everything is easy and everything is working great and all of that. But it's not always the case. I am human. Believe it or not, I am human. I am not a robot. And I do have bad days. Like I started this week, like I love a new month. I love the first of the month. I love going in with these great expectations of doing things differently and I don't know, being better than I was the month before. And so I jumped right in this morning. I actually didn't go on a call that I normally go on Monday mornings so that I could just like get caught up and get some stuff done and do some government stuff and all of that. And because when you run a business like this, you have to file sales tax, you have to keep up in your business licensing, you have to keep up on all this other stuff. And dealing with government agencies is like one of the most frustrating things ever. Which is what I did this morning. I think I spent about an hour on hold between different departments, and I made a little headway. Like I know, okay, to back it up a little bit. So the Department of Taxation is an interesting thing. I went down there. Was it last month before? I don't know. All the months are blurring together. I went down there recently because I had a business formerly. And I had some sales tax that I was paying on. I had like a payment plan set up with them. So I paid that off. And when I started this business, tried to just add this business onto my account. They wouldn't let me. This business got set up separately. And then I couldn't get logged in. So I went down there to get it all straightened out. And she says, okay, all your businesses are merged together now. And I said, okay, well, that other one is closed, long closed, paid off, done. Oh, yeah. So I have not yet been able to get back onto the website to pay the current sales tax because the only business that comes up is the closed business. I'm like, oh, Calgon. So I have to make another appointment and actually go down there in front of a person and try to get it all sorted out again. And it's just like, who's got time for that? It's like, why? Instead of putting new carpet in the executive office, how about we fix the website? How about we make the website work? Wouldn't that be a great thing to do? I don't know. Common sense. Oh, I know. Social Security, all of the government agencies are just so inefficient and complex when it comes to what you need to do to get compliant with things. Because I think for the most part, everybody wants to be compliant with things, but they make it so blasted hard. That's what I told the guy this morning. It's like, look, I'm not trying to be difficult here, but yeah. Danita, we can talk a little bit about that. But I'm not really giving that a lot of energy. Just because it just opens up a whole can of worms. And I have spent the last month cleaning up that can of worms, so to speak. But, misunderstandings, miscommunications, and boundaries. That is it in a nutshell, which is something I kind of like to talk about today, too. So I have obviously all sorts of people watching this. Some of you are just, kind of hobby selling, or maybe not even resellers at all. You just like enjoy watching the content. And some of you are very serious. This needs to be an income for you. And some of you, this is your livelihood. And, you're very, very serious about it. And so I try to make my content such that applies to most of you, no matter what level that you're on. And what doesn't often get talked about, and what I want to talk about today, is the mental health side of running your own business. Now, I mean, I've been selling online since 1998. Gosh, that's a long time ago. And when it first started, anybody else, let me just ask, has anybody else been on eBay? Because eBay was the only game in town. Has anybody been on eBay since those early years, like up through like the early 2000s? Because our online world was different. We had something called Yahoo groups. Does anybody remember Yahoo groups? I had formed and was running one of the largest Yahoo groups out there. It was called Foal Watch. And it was for people who were up all night waiting for their horses to give birth. I don't remember the number of people we had in there, but it was big. And then, so that was our social media, back then, was Yahoo groups. And then along comes things like Facebook, and well, I think MySpace came before Facebook. And so social media has kind of expanded and grown over the years. And we used to be, many people will remember this, we used to be a society of get-togethers and face-to-face friends and going and, meeting up at a park with a bunch of people and hanging out. And we have like transformed into this very, I don't want to say antisocial. That's not the right word, but what would be the word? What would be the word to where it's easier to be social behind a keyboard and a screen, right? We do a lot of typing and talking versus that, like I'm talking to you right now, conversation. And with that, I think has come a lot of, well, number one, we interpret the written word based on whatever's happening in our life, our reality, our way of looking at things, whether we have a negative outlook or a positive outlook, that affects the way that we consume information. And with that comes a lot of problems because it's really, really easy to type things out. It's really easy to put things out on social media and just cause more misunderstandings and more miscommunications and all of that. So the other thing that we have seen, and please guys, please keep the chat over here. We have live chat. If you're watching on the replay, we are live at 1 p.m. Pacific time on Mondays, and we have a live chat. And I really, really, really want you guys to please be an example of how I believe things should be, is that we need to be kind, no matter who differs with our opinion, no matter, what is said that we don't agree with, just please be kind. It's okay to disagree. My goodness, if we all agreed, how boring would this world be, right? So just please, you guys, let's keep it friendly. But the other thing that has happened now with this, and 2020 just accelerated it. The whole COVID shutting everybody in, shutting everything down really affected things. And it caused a lot of people to get depressed, get upset with life, not be able to deal with things very well. And while that has gotten better, we still see a lot of the consequences of that. And a lot more people have not gone back to work and have not gone back out of the house and are still afraid and all of that. So mental health is really a huge, huge issue. And I find it's a big, big issue for us as resellers because we are at home. We're working by ourselves. There's nobody pushing us for the most part. Now, you might have a spouse or a friend or someone who gives you encouragement, but for the most part, we're kind of one-man shows. And with that, we then have a responsibility to ourselves. And that is to take care of ourselves and to nurture our mental health and do what we need to do to stay positive and focused and grow. And that doesn't get talked about a whole lot. And I think that is a shame. And so, you guys, please, let's not talk about politics over in the chat. And I think my mods will be taking care of that. Please, please, you will get muted if you talk politics over in my chat. We're not going there. We're not going there. But going back to what I said before, what I often don't show, like in my everyday, and for the most part, I'm a very positive person. What you see is me. I am very, very conscious of staying focused on what is good in my life. And there is so much good in my life. And we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, that you have to sometimes even make yourself a list. And I had a whole video where I asked everybody to post something that was positive in their life. And that was the most amazing comment thread ever. There was so many amazing things. Even those of you who simply said, I was able to get out of bed this morning, because that tells me you're working on it. You're working on finding the positive, because sometimes, let's face it, sometimes it's really hard to find the positive, but you have to really, really focus on it sometimes. And I just want to be real with you guys that sometimes I struggle. And today was one of those days. It was a very, very difficult morning of just one thing after another. I haven't really been able to talk about it because it was under investigation, but someone turned us in to animal control for abusing and neglecting my animals. And the unfortunate thing was we got that notice on Rachel's birthday. It was actually Rachel who spotted the notice and read it first. And then I saw my daughter, crumbling and crying, thinking that someone was going to come take her animals away. And I haven't been able to talk about it because we needed to get the investigation closed. Obviously, it was closed because I do not abuse and neglect my animals. But just having to go through that kind of thing because somebody else in this world is unhappy and wants to strike back and lash out. And sometimes that does get to me. It does get to me. And I have to go through those. Especially anything that affects my kids. Oh, this is a mama bear right here. Anything that makes my kids sad or upset or hurt really gets to me because those kids are my world. Those kids are my world. I sometimes get comments telling me my kids should be taken away from me and that kind of stuff. And for the most part, guys, I got pretty thick skin after doing this for, 3 years on daily content. I got pretty thick skin and I don't take it to heart. But this past month has been a particularly harsh one for those types of comments and things happening. And I feel like I have been kind of paddling hard, trying to outrun that wave of things coming at me. And we're doing good. I'm like, we're there. There's exciting things happening at the store, and we've made rainbows out of rain and all of that good stuff. But I feel like some of you out there need to know that, yes, I struggle. I have a whole video out there talking about my story, and maybe I'll tell it again one day. I have had a lot of traumatic stuff happen in my life. And I have spent many years with the mental health struggle, to the point I have done an inpatient program for depression at some point in my life. So it is something that I have to stay very aware of and very on top of. And I say that because I know some of you struggle with that too. And I want to give you hope that most days are amazing. Most days you can get up and put a smile on your face and plug through whatever's being thrown your way, and that it's okay to have a bad day. It doesn't mean you failed and gone back into a place that you don't want to be. It doesn't mean that it was fake when you were positive. It doesn't mean that you won't be okay again. And I think that's the important thing that I've learned is allow yourself that time. Allow yourself to be on your pity pot for a little bit. We all need the pity pot every once in a while. But then you pull on your bootstraps and you get back on top of it. And that's the key. Depression and anxiety are so common. And I'm a fairly anxious person. I'm working really hard, especially being in the YouTube world. I'm working really hard on not allowing other people's opinions affect how I do things and who I am. I am me. I need to stay true to me. And not everybody is going to like me. I just have to get over that. I am not a taco. I cannot please everybody. And it's really hard. It's really hard sometimes. Oh, you cried this morning. Oh, I'm so sorry. And you know what? That's grief, Lisa. And again, grief is a process. And you have to allow yourself to go through it. And the thing is, with grief specifically, if you don't allow yourself to just go through it and feel it and go through the stages, it kind of stays stuck. And you don't want to stay stuck in there. Like, now my nose is running, you guys. Where's my Kleenex? Wait a minute. Stand by. Can't be on here with a runny nose. That would not be good. What's that? I'm human? My nose runs? Yes, it does. Go figure. Isn't it funny how it's like it's taboo to talk about such things? Our humanness is so shameful. But yeah, good. Okay. And with that, you have to take care of yourself. Like literally, okay. Confession time and accountability time for Danny. I have had pulled up on my screen the number to call the spa that is right down the street from my house and set myself up for a girl day, a mani-pedi, haircut, yeah, facial, like the massage thing I'm not into that, but I need to do all that other stuff for myself and just have a day of just pampering myself without guilt. Because I think a lot of us do that stuff, but we squeeze it in, or we feel guilty that we took the time to do it. And I know, guys, you may not want the mani-pedi thing, but you know what? You should get a pedi. Pedis are great. I think all guys should get pedis too, because they're fantastic. I know. So I'm going to be accountable by this time next week. See, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it right here to thousands of people. This time next week, I will have gone and gotten my mani-pedi and haircut and my facial. I'm going to do it. I don't know what I'm doing with my hair yet, but I'm doing. I notice I need a haircut really bad when I start taking video and my hair is like I'm editing and my hair's in the screen. So it's like, okay, it's time to cut you. Oh no, your dog may have gotten rabies from a skunk. Ah, well, let's hope not. Let's hope not. That would be awful. I know a lot of you guys do massages, and I've never been able to bring myself to do a massage. For me, it's a little too much in my personal space. Just it's not my thing. And again, if you knew my story, you'd understand why. But yeah, how many of you are going to schedule something like that for yourself this week? How many of you been putting off doing something special, pampering yourself, that are going to now do it? Let's do this together. Let's all come back here next week and be able to say, yes, I did that thing. Yeah, Lenny K. I'm like, that's me too. So if you say you can't afford it, there's schools, there's colleges that they need to learn on people, and you can go there for free or very, very cheap. So look into something like that. Indeed, indeed. Ah, the house. So that is another reason for a little bit of the downside for Danny, is, but yet I'm proud of myself. I'm very proud of myself. So I made an offer on a house, as you know. And when I was talking about needing things for the new house in a recent video, I was manifesting. I was just saying, it's going to happen. It's happening. But people being what they are, I ran into another situation where the owners of the property are very, very short-sighted. And they don't want to lock in to the agreement that we offered, because they're worried that the property value is going to go up in a year and then they'd be locked into a lower price because we were doing a lease option. And so Danny can push it through. I could go ahead and go with their terms and everything, but then I would be facing in 1 year, if something happened where I couldn't turn it into the purchase, looking for another place to live. And I'm just not willing to do that. So I'm proud of myself for not just pushing that through. And I don't know. So everything ties together. So right now, I don't have enough saved for a down payment, because I opened this place, and I am super, super proud that I went into this business, no loans and no partners. I did this all on my own, and I am ecstatic that that happened. But with that, I depleted my savings. Somebody was commenting out there that, where did I get all this money? Because I'd helped my daughter with a down payment, and then I opened this business. I didn't help my daughter with the down payment. She did that all on her own, because she's a very strong, capable woman as well. So that being said, things were chugging along, and I should have been able by the end of this year to have the down payment that I needed. But a lot of stuff has happened over the last couple months that has been a setback, both from an emotional aspect and a financial one. So I am rebuilding. We lost a lot of customers in the store. I lost a lot of viewers on Facebook, on YouTube. And so there is some rebuilding that has to be done. And I can't say for certain that I will have that down payment that is needed in that 1 year time. So I am looking for a 2-year option with the purchase agreement. So that's just the little cushion that I need. And I am sure there is a property owner out there that will see the benefit of locking that in as well. Because I know there's something, I'm not a tax person and I don't pretend to be, but I know there's something to do with, if you have a property and you rent out that property or hold on to that property for 2 years, you avoid capital gains when you go to sell it or something like. Is anybody a real estate person out there? that knows what I'm talking about. So there is a tax advantage for somebody to do a lease option for me for 2 years. I just got to find that person who wants that. Do I regret opening the store versus making a down payment on a house? No, I don't. I don't. Because I believe that opportunity presents itself at the right time in our life. And I literally had just about given up on the store. And that's why I got the house that I'm in, is it was big enough for me to run the business out of, and I would just grow the online business until such time as I could, do something else. And I was supposed to buy the property I'm in. See, this is why I learned my lesson. The 1 year thing is exactly what they did to me on the house that I'm in, with the promise that, oh yeah, they'll be ready to sell in about 6 months. And then what happened was they said, no, because we think this house is going to go up in value. So we're not going to lock into that. And sure enough, they're putting the house on the market, I got told. But I don't want to buy this house now. I don't want to buy this house now. This house has so many issues. And I would buy the house, but not I know they wouldn't sell it to me at the price that I would be willing to pay for this house, considering all the issues that it has. But yeah, I just believe that, everything's meant to happen the way it does, and it is. And there will always be setbacks in life. And that is something that is hard to kind of reconcile sometimes, is that we will be faced with adversity of some sort. It is inevitable. It's not a if, it's when. And it is in how we are mentally prepared to deal with things that gets us through to the other side, to bigger successes and better things. And that I'm just, I'm in the, I have a huge faith. And I mean, that's my thing. And I know not everybody has that, but that's me. I do believe that no matter what happens in my life, if I just ride the faith wave, I'll get through to the other side. And there will be something that was meant for me over on that side. And there's some reason I have to go through the lessons that I go through, because that's what it is. Life is all about lessons and growth, and not everybody takes that as growing moments. Some people get stuck. Some people play victim. And I used to. I'm just going to say I used to. And that is what I realized kept me very, very stuck. Because if you are not accountable for the things that happen in your life, if you don't look at the part you've played in things in your life, then you can't grow from it, and you can't change, and you can't do better, and you can't be better. So it's super important that with everything that we go through, we look at it and go, what can I learn from this? And what was my part in things? And just take that and just be a better person, because we can't go back and change things. Lord knows we can't go back and change things that happen in our life. Do we wish we could? Yeah, absolutely. But going back to your question, no, I wouldn't change it for the world. I have learned a lot. I am growing as a businesswoman. I'm meeting challenges that come my way that are going to make it better for my growing something I can pass on to my kids. Because again, you guys, that's my whole mission in life, is to leave my children something that can provide them a living if this whole world goes sour. Which it could. I mean, they're predicting a recession, possibly into a depression. I want my kids to have something to fall back on when there's no jobs out there. And the resale industry is never going to go away. No matter what happens, prices might go down, but people are always going to buy things no matter what. So we are in a very good business for going into a recession. Just keep that in mind. Oh, Gwenya, you are so sweet. You're so sweet. I have a plan. I have a plan, and I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna be okay. So it's like it's one of the things I always teach you guys is multiple streams of income. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. And right now, I'm going through a time where that is super, super important because while one source of revenue can be down, another one can be growing. So I've got ways to support the store being a little bit slower, and I started another YouTube channel because why not? But I'm doing fun. I'm actually really, really enjoying the editing for that channel. For those who don't know about the niche lady critter cams, that channel is up and running, and I am filming something super exciting tomorrow. I'm hoping all goes well. I'm a little nervous about the placement of this item that I'm getting another aquarium. Who am I fooling? But I'm buying this completely set up with fish tank, and the placement's super important to prevent windows bouncing off the glare and everything. And that's going to be, one of my main webcam aquariums. So it all needs to go really, really well. But I'm going to film like the whole setup because it's going to show up with fish in a bucket, and it's got to all be put together and filled and plumbed. And so I'm going to film that whole thing for that channel too. So for those of you who are interested in that kind of thing, that will be shown over on the Critter Cam channel. And I've got, Rachel's on video over there feeding a giraffe. What? She let me do that. My next video that's going up this week is going to be Banana. Everybody's been asking about Banana. He's going to be over there. Do you worry about the fate of the dollar as more countries are dropping it? Do you have a plan if or when the dollar should crash? I am not super concerned. So I am listening to some of the economic advisors out there. I listen to as many as possible. I don't just channel my brain into going and finding the people saying what I want to hear. I go and listen to all opinions on it, and then I form my own based on that information. And I'm not super worried. I do believe that we are still the best country in the world. And I also believe that, God has a plan for everything. And no matter what happens to the dollar, people are going to have a way to spend money. Now, we're already majority digital. Let's think about this. Who pays with cash? I can tell you in my store, a brick and mortar retail store, only about not even a third of payments are made in cash anymore. Everything is made digitally. So I'm not super worried about it. And again, it's one of those things where if you let your brain go into worry, anxiety mode about it, it will affect your happiness. It will affect how you live life because you're going to be so scared of this thing happening. I'm not saying be irresponsible with your money and not have a budget and all that. But I'm saying do not go through this life worrying about what might happen tomorrow, because we're not even promised tomorrow. Let's just say that. And do what you can to protect yourself. Have a budget. Know what your plan's going to be. I have a solar power generator. I have like emergency food. I keep all that stuff, but I don't think about it every day. I bought it. I have it. It's there. If something bad ever happens, it's like an insurance policy, but I don't dwell on it. I don't dwell on the what ifs. And that's the thing. That's the brain power that we have, is because there's a lot of people who go and they look for those news stories to validate what their brain is thinking. That's the danger of social media and media in general, is that we can go find whatever we want to find to validate a negative train of thought. And that's very dangerous because it goes back to that. We dig the little paths in our brain. Like we control whether we want to teach our brain to be positive focused or negative focused. And the negative focus causes anxiety. And when we have anxiety, that can cause more anxiety because we are always looking to be comforted if we have anxiety. And other people are not responsible for comforting our anxiety. That's for us. That's for us to do. I'm saying, and that's for me. I'm including myself in that because I do suffer from anxiety. And for me, I sometimes catch myself, especially when it comes to my kids, and they look at me like I have three eyes if I'm stressing out about something. And it's like, oh, chill it back, Danny, chill it back. Tomorrow is a gift. Yesterday is the past. And today is our present. Yeah. So Brenda, who is Rosie the Riveter over there, gave me this beautiful little sign. Look at that. Look at that. Even though we're not promised tomorrow, it can be a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. I have that right here in front of me because I love it. I love it. I love it. You are learning your phone and watching on YouTube. Excellent. Excellent. So speaking of anxiety, I know here's a segue. I have had a lot of comments about Whatnot, a lot of questions, and sometimes when maybe I read into them too much, but I read anxiety into some of the messages and the emails and things that I get. So who is struggling with taking those next steps with Whatnot? Because there's a lot of anxiety around change in this e-commerce world. There's a lot of the unknowns, the what ifs, the, oh my gosh, what if the some of you watched my first Whatnot shows and they were technological messes. But have you seen me now? Because I got through them. That's it, you guys. This stuff's going to hit us. Your camera's going to mess up. There's going to be an echo. There's going to be some glitch. Oh no, Whatnot crashes. And you know what? You just pick up the pieces and you carry on. You fix what you can fix. And if you can't fix it, you let it go till next time. And that's it. That's it. Because that worry comes from, oh my gosh, people are going to think I'm an idiot. People are going to think I'm stupid. People are going to think I can't figure this out. That's the anxiety. Like, people aren't going to like what I sound like. People aren't going to like what I look like. People aren't going to like the stuff I'm selling. Am I hitting any buttons there? You don't have to answer that. Just answer internally. And that's kind of the message is stop that. Stop that self-talk that tells you that you have to make everybody happy and that you have to be everybody's cup of tea, because you don't. I mean, a taco does, but even then, there's people who don't like. Is there anybody in my audience who doesn't like tacos? Are you brave enough to tell me? Oh, Gwenya, no. It's all good. It's all good. Again, I'm only sharing this because I know it will help somebody who's watching this get over that hurdle, get over that hump. Because you'll see me in my next video, I will be smiling again. And it's not fake. It is real. I go through life as a joyful person 99.9% of the time. Tacos are okay, but not your favorite. Okay. If you don't like tacos, you should just, no, they don't need to leave now. But I get the sentiment. Oh my gosh. So Rosie's Closet, if you guys aren't following her, Rosie's Closet, wait, let me put you back. Let me put you back up here. Where? Wow, this chat is moving fast. Where did you go? You were just on my screen here. Stand by. Where are you? Goodness gracious. I know I just saw you make a comment because I just read it. How come I can't find it again? Okay, say something else. Say something else. Crystal, say something. There you are. Okay, because there you go. Okay, you guys, go follow Rosie's Closet. Her and her husband Angel are very good friends of mine, and we went to the swap meet Friday night, and I got the most amazing gift from them that I haven't figured out where to hang it yet. I was going to hang it like in my new home office, but that's not happening yet. They got me a full-size disco ball. Oh my gosh, it was so fun. Every time a car would pass on the way home, the whole inside of my car lit up like a disco ball. It was great. Yeah, so that's going in my office because I have always wanted one. I've always wanted a disco ball because, like, who can be sad around a disco ball? You know, that if I ever thought about being sad, a disco ball takes it away. Yes. And Bougie has a disco ball too. Yes, Harleen bought Bougie a little disco ball. So now I got to figure out how to like coordinate disco balls and make that all happen. But yeah, so please, Rosie's Closet, she has a channel. She is a reseller as well. Take that off. Okay. Got to figure out the technology here. Yeah, you guys have heard me talking about it for so long. She found it at an estate sale of all places. I know. Get down. Boogie, oogie, oogie. Yeah, it's already bringing me joy, and I don't even have it hung up yet. Oh, C. Johnson doesn't like tacos. Uh-oh. Yeah. We'll have to have a disco party. I almost did this live from home so that I could bring Bougie on. I'm gonna coordinate and do it's I'm kind of torn between two places. Yeah. I need to be here at the store on Mondays, but I can't bring Bougie down here and let him loose. I just can't. So I was thinking about how could I? But I am going to do a Bougie cam. We're still figuring out the technology behind that. I'm looking into like some of the bird feeder cams, and it's that part's the easy part. It's connecting it to the channel and having it play live that I've got to figure out. And I'm going to figure that out because who wouldn't? I would love to have my Bougie cam on next to me and even be able to talk to him because that would be super fun. I know. Yeah. Bougie is like, I was telling somebody last night, it was on a Whatnot. What were we talking about? Oh, I know what it was. Valerie of Kennedy's Castle had this whistling gnome. He would whistle every time she walked by. And I said, you know, I have my own version of that. It's my Bougie bird who sits there and says, I love you. Peekaboo. Hey, baby. And that's how I wake up in the morning. I wake up every morning to my little Bougie saying something to me. Something. Yes. I know. I need to get him on here more. Yes. But we're working out the technology. You'll see more of Bougie. Can you recommend a direct way to contact Whatnot? Melissa has advised contacting them to express how much I think so many others would want it in the UK. So I can't imagine that they're not working on going international. I mean, they're in Canada, so there's a start, but I don't know what like the regulations are and all of that. I'm sure it's pretty heavy duty for an American-based company to go overseas. And yeah, because other countries are so much more regulated when it comes to those types of things and letting outsiders in and all of that. But you can write to support@whatnot.com and voice that. Just, I think if they maybe heard it enough and they would, okay, this is how companies work. It's all about the dollars, right? So if they had a large amount of international sellers saying, hey, we're ready to do this, what's happening? Then they might put a little fire under it and get it going a little quicker. Yeah, so as I talked about last week, I am planning to do a Whatnot Masterclass for the membership for the Niche Nation. I really have to sit down with my calendar and schedule out. I forgot. No, I can't make her do it. I wouldn't. No, I forgot that Jordan is coming to town on Thursday this week. So that could put a little hitch in doing it this week. But I am going to do it the following week, either Wednesday or Thursday. It's going to happen either Wednesday or Thursday. I'm leaning towards Wednesday. At noon Pacific time. That's the tentative date that it will be happening right now. So mark that down. And we are going to go through, and those of you on the fence, those of you who are onboarded but haven't done a first show, I'm going to make sure that by the end of that class, you are scheduled for your first show or the next step in your whatnot journey. I'm going to make sure of it. You count my words. I will do it. Indeed, indeed. Yeah. So Jordan has made me promise that it's going to just be a girls' trip, a relaxing stay. We're going to go do some fun stuff that I'm going to do very limited filming. Neither one of us can keep a camera out of our hands. But that is not the intent of anything that we go and do. It is to just go and have fun. Now, that being said, I will be here in the store on Saturday. If anybody is local or can get local on Saturday, it is going to be Viewer Appreciation Day here at the store. And some of the things that are happening are $1 clothing sales. I am going to do, I haven't committed to 50% off in my booth yet, but I might. That's going to be super secret. You're going to need the code. You're going to need the code word. What's the code word going to be? I think the code word should just be bougie. You walk up to the cashier and you go, bougie. Noah will not be here, unfortunately. Noah has a 24-hour endurance race he is doing Saturday. He's going to be live streaming the whole thing. If anybody wants to check in. Now, he's not doing the entire 24 hours. He has there's either 4 or 5 teammates, and they take shifts. So they take like a 4 or 5 hour shift of driving. So I don't know when his shifts are yet, but he's going to be a tired boy come Sunday. Yes, I know. He's serious about his go-karting. Let me tell you, it's a sim race. It's not a real race. It's a sim race. So that's how he's able to live stream the whole thing over on his channel. Noah Ackerman, the Purple Goose. What was I going to say? Oh yeah. Back to that. Yeah. So if you come down and you go to checkout, clothing will be $1 here in the store. We have lots of clothes to get out of the back room, so we need to make room for it. So $1 clothing, probably half price shoes, and I'll do half price on my stage for anybody that has my code of bougie. Other than that, what's going to be advertised is 25% off. So, but if you have the secret word, you can get 50% off. And I know Tiffany's going to be here. Tiffany of Thrifting Vegas. She will have a sale going in her booth. We have the Conlins will be here. Picker Road. They are going to be doing a sale in their booth. And several of the vendors that now have space here are going to be doing sales on their spaces. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So come on down. We are going to do pop-up whatnot sales as well. So there's no set time of day. It is like when we get a lull in the in-person traffic, we're going to pop on and do a whatnot sale. So just be sure you're following me that day and watch from. I'll schedule it a little bit ahead so you can see it coming, and then we'll just pop on and sell some stuff. I know I did, but it's still a viewer thing. So viewers, I'm sure, are going to say something when they get to the checkout. I wish you could be here too. We are going to do this the first Saturday of every month. The sales will be different, but the Viewer Appreciation Day is going to happen the first Saturday of every month going forward. It's just a fun get together. Get everybody here at once if you want to come and take pictures and all that good stuff. Indeed. Hello from Quebec, Canada. So we are streaming this over on Facebook as well. So I can see both chats. So I don't want to leave out my Facebook peeps, who I super appreciate are watching too. All I heard was to say that you are Sue Scrubbed. Is that still in? What does that mean, Gwenya? I don't know what that means. Well, we are open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. So we are open after flea market too. Hello, Shauna. I saw that beautiful grandbaby you've been posting over on Facebook. How fun. I heard you say you are a subscriber. Yeah, I did. I said you have to say something. You have to say something. Because it's not programmed into the cash register. We have to manually put it in there. That's why it's Viewer Appreciation Day. I appreciate all of you who have gone on this journey with me in opening this store, because it has not been easy. It has definitely been a lot of work, and still is a lot of work. But we have exciting things happening. And if anybody wants to come down and volunteer for a day, if you're here, we'd super duper welcome your help. And there's a lot of stuff that has to happen that it's all prioritizing, because we do count on volunteers a lot. And we are working on adding 2 more nonprofits. So cross fingers, say a prayer that all goes smoothly and we get them in here. Because that's really the whole basis of this, is the nonprofits drive the donations, that they market to their followers who donate, bring stuff in, just as if they had a thrift store. We tell them to tell people this is your thrift store, because truly it is such a blessing for a small nonprofit to get a check for thousands of dollars every quarter that they wouldn't otherwise be able to have. Like, if somebody just donated those goods to them, they wouldn't be able to do anything with it, right? We convert it to money for them. So it's a win-win for all. The code word is bougie. Yeah, Diane, I am really, really loving the direction of having multiple people in the room, because it just feels more like a flea market now. And if you come to my Whatnot today, it's at 3 p.m. I give myself a little break to eat some tacos between the time I end this and the time I start up Whatnot. We literally go in and shop the shelves of all of those new vendors, because I want to help support them. I want to help them make some sales, help you guys find some cool stuff that may not be in the store. And it's just, again, it's a win-win for everybody. And that's the best feeling for me. Hello, Janie in West Virginia. I'm trying to catch up on some of the chat, trying to catch up. Hey, Jamie of Mid-Century Wasted. That's true. The code word could be caw. Oh, it's a little inside secret. So if you watched the Fatbird Finds, why am I saying Facebird? Fatbird Finds Friday night live, where they were in Vegas, you will understand the whole caca reference. It's pretty funny. I think that's because I know there's tacos out there awaiting. Will opened the door and flashed the box of tacos at me. It speaks my language. It's Taco Monday for sure. Indeed. All right. We have about 5 minutes left. I've talked about a lot of stuff, some serious stuff, some fun stuff. This is your 5 minutes If you're confused about something I said, I didn't answer your question, I'm going to focus on that chat right now and watch for those questions to come in so I don't leave anybody wondering. Isn't that terrible? Like you're like, but my question didn't get answered. I don't like that. So I want to make sure that I answer those questions. Every day's a good day for tacos. This is true. Why are nachos better? They're made out of the same stuff. Kind of. There's more stuff, I think, on nachos. I like nachos too. I'm a nacho. So see, the thing for me, okay, Mexican food is my safe food because having Crohn's, I have to be very, very careful. Now, not spicy Mexican food, but I can do corn tortillas and I can do the refried beans. I can do a little bit of cheese. I can do lettuce. Like all that stuff is safe for me. Whereas sometimes I go to a restaurant and everything is breaded and everything is gluten-y and everything is fatty and I can't eat much of that. So I've learned to really love Mexican food because I could sit there and just eat chips and salsa all day and be a happy camper. We are working on the technology for bird cam. It's probably going to be a few weeks out still until we figure out what is safe for Bougie, because that is the number one concern. I can't just put a camera in his cage because he would eat it. And if he ate it, he could get hurt. He could ingest something that he shouldn't be ingesting. It's not about, damaging the camera. I could care less about the camera. I care about Bougie. So we're looking for a solution that is bird safe for him. Like, I don't know if the wild bird feeder camera is safe for him yet. I got to really check into it because he's a parrot. He's not a sparrow. And a parrot has a mischievous side where they like to tear things up. I just had to give him a brand new toy this morning because he completely tore up his old toy and then he puts it in his water and he makes a big mess. And he makes a big mess at the bottom of his cage. And then everybody thinks his cage is dirty when in reality, everything on the bottom of his cage is mostly his toy shreds. He's a messy boy. So yeah, we just got to make sure it is completely safe for him. Do you have to be on social media in order to sell on Whatnot? You do not. It definitely helps. I'm not going to lie and say that it's an easy road to build the Whatnot without having social media, but it's just like any other selling venue. You can build it. It takes time and consistency, and it will be disappointing at first. You will get on and do shows and sell nothing. Just set your expectations to that, because then when you sell your first items, it's gonna feel great. Now, what I absolutely love to do is if you have signed up under my link, I feel a little responsible for you. And I want to make sure, number one, that you get approved. Number two, that you get through your onboarding. And then number three, that you have some support at one of your first shows. Depending when it's scheduled, I can't always get to the shows. I try very hard though. I will absolutely come in, support your first show, because what that does is people can go to my profile somehow. I don't know how that quite works. And they can see what show I'm in. They can see who I'm following. So I will absolutely support you in that endeavor as best that I can. Let's see. Will you continue to do Whatnot for your Friday sale? I can't do Whatnot at work and I'm sad. I'm sorry, Francie. I was thinking I will probably do one YouTube live sale a month. I will do one a month on YouTube. But the Whatnot just really makes life easier for me. As I said, I'm still sitting on about $500 worth of unpaid invoices. And, I've gone through the work to do all that invoicing. The things are sitting on a shelf waiting to go to that new person. And with Whatnot, that just doesn't happen. So that's one of the biggest reasons. But I understand what you're saying. But, I do the Whatnots 3 days a week now, sometimes 4. Sometimes I do one on a Sunday evening. So if you follow me on Whatnot, I may do an evening show that is not during your work hours that you can come to. They do ask a lot of questions about your social media on Whatnot. Yeah, well, they're looking for people that they know are going to be successful, but that's where I come in handy in helping you get through. Yep. They want to know all about you. Is the onboarding hard? Nope. Nope. It's basically just learning the ins and outs and the policies, and they just want to know that they have told you what you're allowed to do and not allowed to do, and that you've heard it. You signed with my $15 to grab. Great. If it doesn't work, and this goes for anybody who used my link to sign up to buy on Whatnot, and you did not get your $15 of credit for your first purchase, please, this is what I want you to do. You write to support@whatnot.com and you CC me. That means you copy me on the email, because then I will see the responses. And if you don't get the response that I want you to get, which is to get your $15, I have somebody I can escalate that to and make sure it happens. All right. Yeah, it's a really, really great way to move inventory. Were you able to get suggested additional items pulled for today's sale? That's what I work on when I end this, which I need to do here. I end this, I go to those comments, and then I go pull those items. We've been loading the sale with the things that you saw me pull in Sunday's video, and now we're going to go pull the rest of the items and get them loaded in. So someone can answer Kathy's question of, I am quitting with the negative thinking for today. That's what I'm quitting. Now, you guys already have made me smile more than I have all morning. I love hanging out with you. I appreciate you all being here. We had over 1,000 people here, and I'm sure a lot of people wanted to come over here and hear some doom and gloom, but I'm not going to give it to you. Things are good. Things are not perfect, but things are good, and things will be good. And we are in this together, guys. I'm here for you, and I know you're here for me. And that means the world to me. And I appreciate you, and I love you. And I got to go get ready for a Whatnot sale. So I hope to see you over there. We'll continue chatting over there, of course. We do have more spaces available. Yes, if you are local, come on down. There's only about 3 spaces, though, that we've added in. So get down here tomorrow if you want a space at the good stuff. All right, everybody. With that, there's not going to be any music as I sign off of this. I will just be saying, go be profitable and make it fun. We'll see you on the next one.